bit of gas money goes a long way. So just something to keep in mind, guys. So with that being said, another exciting week of football.
Another exciting week. There are a few blowouts, mostly in favor of Mohave County schools.
Yeah.
Starting off with our game of the week, River Valley versus Kingman.
Yeah, so our game of the week was an exciting one. You really had kind of a primetime matchup. I don't know if you have that graphic that we kind of threw together. It was all about whether they were going to bottle up that quarterback, and they did. They did a great job. Got to him early. I think Deacon came out of the game at some point. You got that game of the week graphic, Argonda?
Yeah, held DeAnthony to 15 carries, 22 yards rushing, 8 for 20 through the air, 92 yards, with a touchdown to Davin Concepcion. 3 catches, 70 yards, touchdown for him. But it was all River Valley from the start. Got to watch this game in person. Mickey Smith, 3 for 6, 116 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. Deacon Maish had added 2 sacks.
Yeah, I had looked up and seen, and I'll tell you guys again, when you do send us clips, we really appreciate it. Thank you so much. We don't always have access to things or time to necessarily go through 6 or 7 games, but I did see some of the videos that were posted. Looked like they moved Deacon around a little bit. Some of those sacks came from jumping inside. It looks like teams are pretty wise to the double team, sometimes triple team, kind of like what you see when T.J. Watt or Myles Garrett go. You're getting a tight end rub, a back chip while the tackle plays them the whole way out. And moved around, still had a couple plays, and River Valley is coming into the
meat of their region schedule. Yeah.
The meat of their region schedule, and they're going to get right. They're going to roll a little bit, and we'll talk about what they got coming up here real quick. But our game of the week was a little bit of a show out for River Valley. And,
it was. They played well. Another great game from Ada Montgomery, 13 carries, 226 yards, 3 touchdowns. Riley Gonzalez, 2 catches, 105 yards, 2 touchdowns.
It's pretty good when you only throw the ball
6 times.
6 times. So, great job, River Valley. Congratulations. I have a little bit of insight that the Findlay Athlete of the Month is coming out of River Valley. We're going to be heading down there and shooting that today, so I can't really... But you can
say anything,
you have actually a lot of great choices out of that group because they got a lot of guys playing real well. We've talked about guys moving around. When they had some linemen out, guys stepping up. I believe Deacon is still playing both sides of the ball, although I don't think it was for very long if they got up early. Mickey is doing a great job protecting the ball. You only throw it 6 times, throw a couple touchdowns. It's a pretty good day.
Yeah, pretty good day.
Congratulations, River Valley. Kingman is looking forward to getting some conference games rolling also. I don't know who they got next. We'll get into that when we get to our previews coming up. So congratulations. Great job. Aiden's finally, I say finally, I believe he was out early, sharing workload a little bit, and now he is carrying it.
Carrying it the most, yeah.
Yeah, 200 yards worth.
DJ Garmins, he had a fair 10 carries as well, but it was the Aiden Montgomery show on Friday night.
They got a wealth of running backs out there.
Yes, they do.
What a great problem to have, right?
Exactly.
I wonder if Coach King just kind of sits there and goes, meeny, miny, mo.
You run the ball.
Let's go with this one this time. So congratulations, guys. Great job. A lot of, I think we've said a couple times, I think, River Valley's probably the most likely, they're going to end up with that tough early schedule, probably being not a top seed, mid-seed, very winnable games, and a team that nobody's going to play once playoffs roll in, especially if they stay healthy. The defense is playing tough and only getting better. They're going to probably be the team most likely to make that postseason push.
Yes, absolutely. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Moving on to our next game, Bradshaw Mountain visited the Field House to play Mohave, won 31-21.
Another rough one for Mohave. This game was actually a little better than it looked. I'll tell you, you had told me that you really liked the coach at Bradshaw, and he had a couple play calls that were, on the money, spotless timing. One was a fake punt when Mohave kind of regained some momentum, and a very athletic kid. I think the running back's also the punter, and just got enough for the first down and kind of kept Mohave out when they started getting some momentum back. Unfortunately, the injuries keep coming around for Mohave. Tristan, I believe, has a broken foot or broken ankle early in that game, who was already backing up Jeremiah, who was out. So paper thin at running back. I believe they had a young freshman kid play a lot of snaps out at wide receiver. I can't imagine that's the lineup they expected with Nathaniel out, Pedro banged up, Tony banged up.
Yeah.
They got to get healthy. They got to get healthy fast because they got a tough one coming in this week. So
Yeah, definitely.
And Tristan's playing both sides. Like you said, the whole team plays both sides of the ball.
Right.
Tristan's one of the most experienced linebackers, him and Deegan. So that's a big loss.
Joe Yoni did have a great game, though, 21 for 29, 256 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, and an interception, 8 carries for 75. Still, that dual threat still there.
Yeah. Joe actually looked more comfortable in this game and played more Joe-like than I would say we've probably seen in most of the season. I don't know if the hand's getting better or just settling into the season, but doing a lot without his primary targets. I know Tony went in, had a great touchdown catch on a jump ball, but really was not featured in a lot of the offense. He looked a little hobbled. Jeff, do you have that video of Pedro's catch?
Yes, we do
Pedro
have.
went off in this game. Really, they leaned on him. At some point, they were just down and kind of.
Yes.
Mojave video, yeah. And
Our play of the week.
yeah,
Yes.
this. If we had better video, this would be my play of the week.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't me.
I don't know if the AI is lost or what, but so this is just a little stop and go. I mean, makes a guy miss, gets back, goes all the way back, scores a touchdown.
Whoop, whoop.
I mean, they knew they were going at him. They were rolling safety help his way late in the game, and they just leaned on him. Pedro had a great game. So I don't know if that. Do we decide if our play of the week is?
I would say that is play of the week. I concur.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably the most spectacular play we saw of the week.
Yeah.
You hate to see it in a loss, but what a great individual effort. I don't know what his numbers ended up being if you had.
Yeah, Pedro had 10 receptions for 149 yards, 2 touchdowns. These last couple weeks, he's slowly turned into what appears to be Yoni's #1 option.
And Pedro's dealing with, I believe he had a sprained or separated AC joint, and he's out there banged up playing and played like that, both sides of the ball. I don't think he came off the field. Really, yeah, I think they would really benefit from getting Nathaniel back, Tony healthy, and honestly, he may not see as many looks, but collectively the offense would move much better, and then you don't have teams loading the box, things like that, stuff. And then teams want to keep Joe bottled up.
Right.
If you got to cover those guys, you got to roll safety help. You got to respect the other side. I mean, they got to get healthy. They got to get healthy fast, and they got no relief going through their. I know there's some weaker teams in that conference, but I mean they're staring down a Prescott team that's pretty tough. Maybe quarterback still out.
Yeah.
Travel to Flag, travel to Mingus, and then a big game with Lee Will on 10/24. That's looking like it's going to be a make or breaker.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to our next game. Lake Havasu visited Kofa, 49-14.
So we had talked about Kofa having a little resurgence. I
Yes.
believe they're 2-2, won their last 2 games.
Yes.
Kind of a feel-good story, and Havasu went down and said, nope, I don't
That's
think so.
over. Yep.
It's fun while it lasted.
Yeah.
Really, I don't know what I expected, but dominant performance. Put it on them. I mean, they really burst that Kofa bubble real fast. So hopefully Kofa gets. You don't want to see any team continue to live in the doldrums of losing football. So hopefully they get right, get some things going. But Havasu got their quarterback.
Quarterback back, our player of the week for this
Player
week.
of the week.
We have a video of this game.
Yeah, we got a video of this. This isn't it.
Nope.
That's the wrong
Wrong
game.
Wrong game.
Wrong game.
Sorry, guys.
But Trip Burke, 17 for 23 passing, 218 yards, 6 touchdowns, and an interception. Single game school record in Lake Havasu history. So congratulations, Trip Burke. Yep. Threw it to 6 different receivers, too.
Yeah.
Something we have talked about more on the show is like as the season progressed, clearly Lake Havasu has the best passing attack of the schools in this county.
And they arguably have the best schedule going through this 4A world going into playoffs. A lot of very winnable games. And listen, this is a lot of great plays by the rest of the team.
Yeah.
And listen, Kofa, I'm happy you guys are playing some ball, doing whatever. You got to tackle, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of these things, listen. You got to tackle, fellas.
Yeah.
That's the fundamentals of football. But managed the game, got it in his guy's hands, blocked it up, catch after the run after the catch, excuse me, and really dominant performance. Congratulations. I think we have a picture of the young man too, Jeff.
Yep.
Trip Burke. My boy Halo's not getting any shots at quarterback anytime soon, I take it.
No, unlikely.
So I'm sure that is actually the way they want it, getting the ball in those athletic kids' hands, and Havasu sitting pretty.
Yep.
Sitting
it's
pretty.
The schedule.
That Lee will win is going to end up being big for them down the road. Did you find that picture of Trip Burke?
Yep.
I know I have it.
Yep. Player of the week picture.
Yeah, they really, coming together for them quite a bit. They got Buckeye, Deer Valley, Yunker, Estrella Foothills, and Somerton, which I've never heard.
They got a couple tough ones in there, and Deer Valley and Estrella Foothills.
Yeah, but sitting at 4-1 with some winnable games, I mean, they're in a good position. Like we said, got the quarterback back healthy, got guys going. That's where you want to be at the midpoint of the season. You don't want to be the opposite. So,
congratulations once again, Trip Burke.
Yep.
Beautiful picture.
That is a great picture. Shout out to the photographer. Also, guys, send us some pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah. I felt so bad. Pedro had a great play, and I couldn't find a decent video or nothing to save my life. So send us what you do have. I really appreciate the interaction, support, and I'm really excited to see where Havasu goes. Like I said, you got a guy like that who distributes the ball, runs the offense, gets it out quick, and then you get your athletic guys. I mean, we've already seen some other kids for Havasu have huge games. Then you put Halo back into the offense where he probably wants to be.
And the best part about it is he threw the ball to 6 different receivers. He has options. He has Luke Johnson had 3 touchdown catches. Card DeVette had a touchdown. He's got
Somewhere in
Halo
the
out
last 15 years of football, managing a game became a negative. Where if you ask any coach, the number one thing that the quarterback has to do, like you want them to make plays, you want them to do all that stuff, but if they don't manage the game, they don't run the plays, some of those little screens, if you don't just run the play, it doesn't happen.
Right.
And you don't give that guy, athletic guy, a chance to make a play. You don't give that blocker a chance to spring a guy. And so often that it's got some negative connotation. I'm not even saying that's what he did per se. He threw the ball down the field, hit it to a bunch of different guys. You put up 49
But
points.
it's important to remember, a short pass is, in a way, is an extension of the run game.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't know how much college football you watch, but there is so much of that where it is all about the creative ways to essentially extend the run game, including I don't know, we could geek out on college football. That giant Alabama tackle.
Oh, yeah.
Who pitched that and said, "Oh, this is a great idea," and then it works?
Right.
Yeah. I love all this, B gap insert with wide receivers. I don't know if you've been following that at all.
Oh, yeah, motion them in.
Oh my gosh,
No,
I watched it. Yep.
The thing I love about the college game is it's just
so innovative, so
yeah.
creative, and we won't get in the weeds too much about that. Let's stay focused on our high school guys. But really exciting.
Of course.
Congratulations, Lake Havasu, 4-1.
Yep.
Game got Buckeye on Friday. Sitting pretty. Very exciting times.
Yep. So moving on to our next game, Parker visited Desert Star. The tough times continue in Fort Mojave, 42-6 Parker. Gavin Canning did have another good game though, 15 carries, 102 yards, 2 catches, 22 yards, and their only touchdown of the game.
And I believe Parker is making some waves in that.
Parker, their only loss so far this year was a close one to Needles week 1.
Yeah.
And they have been looking one of the contenders in 2A this year.
Yeah, absolutely. And they had been a perennial 2A contender
Powerhouse
for
for some
years
time,
until
yes.
their little dip into 3A, and then they had a little bit of a rebound from that.
Yeah.
Desert Star has all the pieces, all the things. They're just missing some seniors.
Yes.
And when you play good teams and you have it, they won't realize what that difference is until next year when those kids are seniors. And they have other teams that are playing sophomore, freshman, and you're senior heavy, junior heavy, and then your talented young guys play roles instead of having to be the fixture of that thing. So Coach Clark and the boys out there got a little bit of a tough run. He posted a funny thing about the top teams in their conference, and I think they play all of them.
Yeah, like
so
5 of the 10.
welcome to the conference, guys.
5 of the 10 he's going to play at some point. Yeah.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
they know what they were getting into, and I'll tell you, hats off to those kids for fighting and competing. I don't know what the messaging is when you go in, you talk to those kids and say, hey, we're playing with no seniors. We're playing, teams have been together for however long. I mean, I'm sure Coach Clark is keeping it very positive and very about them and not the other things that are out there. But they're starting to see the reality of that right now. And, I said it last week. I'll say it again. Stay the course, man. You guys are on the right track.
Yeah.
Just a tough run right now.
These things take time. It's like, I still remember, he at least has juniors. Lee Williams, their second year ever of existence, they decided to jump to varsity 2A football, and they only had freshmen and sophomores.
Yeah, it's rough.
And it was a roller coaster rides of peaks and valleys, man.
That's rough. That's a rough one, fellas.
So moving on to our next game, Mojave Accelerated visited Sedona Red Rock, and the beautiful views did not stop Mojave.
Yeah, apparently the vortexes were not in their favor, and Malk went up there and
Dominated 52
beat the brakes off of
nothing.
them. That's my car business tie-in to this show. Is
And that's another.
they beat the brakes off of them.
And similar to the Stars, this is another school. They've restarted football this year. They're rebuilding.
Well,
great
and
job
they're
on the Mojave side.
rebuilding. They're getting started. Well, Malk is getting healthy, getting guys
Yes.
back, and hitting a little bit of mid-season stride. They got a big game coming up that we'll talk about here shortly. But Torres getting healthy, quarterback
Honegger's
settling
back.
in. Yep, Honegger's back. So they had pieces that they would have really liked to have had some of those tougher games earlier
Right.
in the year. But as we know, it's a long season.
Yes.
And it's all about getting right, getting into the playoffs, getting a shot in the tournament. And they're sitting pretty right now. I
Yes.
think they actually just released
That is
the
correct.
rankings.
Yesterday, the 1A playoff rankings came out. Next week, 2A will come out, and the week after that, the 4A and 3A rankings
You got
come
that
out.
graphic, Jeff.
But Mojave Accelerated comes in at number
Cracking
10.
the top 10. Congratulations, Mount
Yes.
Patriots. And
Their opponent this week is number 3.
yeah, well, that's probably going to be a longer discussion for the back half of the show. But congratulations, cracking the top 10 and doing it through. Oh, there we go. Doing it
Yeah.
through some of that adversity, playing without guys. And again, we've talked about it. 8-man
Right.
football, and you're missing 2 guys.
That's like missing 5.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you look
So,
at the teams ranked ahead of them. Their 2 losses are two teams that are ahead of them.
Yeah.
Like
good teams.
Mogion and Williams are tough teams.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. So congratulations, Malk. I think they'll be dipping into the playoff dance at some point, and we'll be following along closely and seeing how
Yeah.
that goes. They've had some runs getting into the playoffs the last couple of years, and I think this will be another one where they're right in the mix. If they stay healthy, I think they got a big test coming up this week.
They got a big test coming up this week. Just got to finish the season strong. I think they'll find themselves in it.
Absolutely.
So we didn't have any stats from that game. Also don't have stats from our next game, Kingman Academy versus Mountainside. That was a Thursday night game. 47-0. The tough times continue down at Kingman Academy as well.
Yeah, tough time. I know they have some talented kids out there, but I don't know if they're having issues on their side of things getting going, or if they're really just getting into some tough scheduling. But not having a great time out of Kingman. They got to get back to getting the ball in their playmakers' hands, playing a little bit of solid basic defense, and being in games. Because we all know once you start getting down in games, you play out of character, and it just snowballs on you. And I think that they need to,
Calm
pump the
down.
brakes,
Yeah.
get back to the basics, find ways. I'm guessing that anyone who's watched a game is scheming to keep the ball out of the Olave kids' hands.
Correct, yeah.
Somebody else has got to step up, and unfortunately, no stats.
Yeah.
I didn't really have any feedback.
And they
from
do
them,
have a
so-
freshman quarterback too. So
Yeah.
it's-
Well, that's all fine and good, but no one cares once a game starts.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I'm not saying that to the young man per se. I'm saying that as far as like a team competition. You
Right.
put your team out there, and you do the best you can with what you got.
Yeah.
So hopefully that young man's gained some very valuable experience. In a couple of years, we're talking about him leading that team to some big wins, things like that. But it is tough being a freshman in a varsity world.
Yeah. So moving on to our last recap, Lee Williams visited the Dome to play Flagstaff, who previous week lost their quarterback to an ACL tear, and
Talented kid too.
talented kid.
So really unfortunate for them.
And it was domination from the beginning, 55-0 Lee Williams win. We do have a clip from that game. DeMarcus Walima's 61-yard
This
interception.
was our coin toss play of the week.
Yes.
And I can't even say it was, I mean, that's a great job.
Yeah.
I mean, reading the quarterback's eyes,
Cut the route
staying in your
off.
zone, breaking on it, then taking it to the house.
And make that guy miss.
And it's better camera
Yeah.
work. Shout out to the camera person.
Yeah.
Really appreciate the camera work.
I always do enjoy coaching games up at the Dome.
Yeah, you know, I have only been there twice. Played in it once. Threw myself a nice interception up there. I think my sophomore year, I can't remember, maybe my freshman year.
Yeah, I've coached 3 games at the Academy in the Dome and 1 game at Kingman High in the Dome. And 1 and 3, that part stinks. Definitely like the elevation gets to even the Kingman kids, which isn't, you think wouldn't be much of a difference, but it is.
It is. It's significant.
Yeah. But great
Now,
game, Morgan Quinn.
Great play. However, the big story is the Lee Williams train continues to roll.
Yes.
And that is very exciting. I don't know if they had some tempered expectations as the season started, but I think that they're believing now, and I think sky's the limit in their eyes.
They are now 2-0 in the Grand Canyon region, and how things are shaping up, a playoff run is looking very likely.
They're 2-0, but they're 2-0 with 2 resounding wins.
Yes, dominant wins.
Prescott, who's been the class,
Yes.
arguably, although they lost a bunch of guys, they're still playing good ball. Beat them 29-3. You go to Flag, 55-0. I believe Flag's struggling a little bit, losing a quarterback, whatever. But there's no room for doubt in there. It's not like you go, yeah, but, or hey, this was close. And they're playing football the right way. They're running the thing, complimentary passing game.
Yep.
They're holding teams to low
Defense
scores.
is playing well. Defense is getting turnovers every week.
Yep. And then you look at their loss was to Havasu, who's playing good ball.
Right.
So, I
And
mean,
they're both going to keep winning games, and they're both going to feed each other in the PowerPoint system.
yep, absolutely. So, shout out again to those boys out at Lee Will. Keep doing your thing. Dominant win.
Yeah. Big Coop, another great game. 3 receptions, 44 yards and a touchdown,
right.
and an interception.
Big Coop sticking. It's a thing.
Averaging an interception a game right now. Morgan Quinn, 10 for 16, 177 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. Probably the best passing game we've seen from Lee Williams this year. And then Least, 14 carries, 76 yards. Not as good yards-wise, but 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I kind of joked. I just assumed. I was like, yeah. Well, what about the Lee Williams running back? You're like, he had a good game. He didn't have 200 yards. So, thanks for being human, young man. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Coach probably gonna appreciate letting them legs get a little fresh because they're at the midway point as well. They got a lot of football left, and especially when you're talking about a season with playoffs looming. It ends up being a 13, 14-week season of football. And I don't know if you guys know, but most of football practice is also football. It's really hard on the body, so if you can keep those legs a little fresh out of your running back, get guys out early, like we've talked about, how frustrating it must be for Deacon to be coming out of games so early or getting limited snaps. But down the road, if he's healthier, it's going to pay dividends,
Right.
and I'm sure Lee Will's experience, especially with some of the depth they have. They got their numbers up. You're getting up early. You guys are gaining valuable experience. A lot of good things coming out of there.
So now we move on to our picks for this week, highlighting. So first off, our Thursday game, Desert Star versus Highland Prep, and the poll this week for that game was an interesting one. Jeff, if you want to put that on the screen for the people to see. So there's our prediction standings from last week. I got my 3-game lead, thanks to a couple of.
Damn my emotions.
The Academy pick was interesting. I will say that. Yeah, but
listen, you got to roll the dice once in a while. You got to throw that. There's a lot of laterals in football now.
This is true.
Throwing little laterals early here.
But so we have our Desert Star Highland poll came out, and it was inconclusive, 50-50 split.
Thanks for the help, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As we're looking for it, we're finding it.
Yeah, do you have that
It should be
poll
A,
the Desert
Jeff.
Star game?
Yeah.
50-50 split. There's
It should
not a
be
whole
A,
lot
A.
to
Yeah. Okay.
not a whole lot to discuss about it. And I unfortunately, I don't know a lot of these
there it is.
2A schools. I feel bad. I don't know a whole lot about 2A Kingman Academy or any of these other schools. But when in doubt, go with your heart. Go Desert Star.
Yeah.
Hopefully they get right, get out there, get some wins, keep those kids excited. They got a really exciting fan base, talented kids, bright future, and some of these little wins here and there really help feed the machine.
So since I do have this 3-game lead, I think it's fair that I should pick first, so that way you have a chance to catch up. I am also taking Desert Star this week. I think Coach Clark returns to his winning ways. All right, moving on.
Well, we made no progress on that one. Perfect.
Yeah. Moving on.
I'm the one behind. I got to find some ways to get moving here.
Right.
So.
They're only 3 games behind. There's a lot of season left still.
That's right. We're at the midway point. No time
Our
to
next
panic.
game, Wickenburg versus River Valley, which was another interesting poll by the people, as in...
Listen, is the internet out in Wickenburg this week? What happened? Did they get rained on? They don't want to click no votes?
Considering I still see Coach Carter texting every day on Twitter, I do not believe
Coach Carter, where are you at?
the
man?
Wi-Fi
Come
is
on.
out. Yeah.
You might be watching.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
he's not going to like this one. That's not pretty.
Yes.
And I think that
We know
if
how
I were
it's going.
predicting, I'm predicting another Deacon Mace half a game.
I concur with that, which is why I have River winning this game. I just think River's going to be too much for Wickenburg. Wickenburg has a lot going on, and it has just been rough for them. I feel bad because you and I, we both know Coach Carter. Great guy. Great
Great
human
guy.
being.
Yep,
it's
great
just-
guy, and he's been there for as long as I can remember.
Interim coaches don't get thrown into good situations.
No, absolutely not. And especially, in our football opinion, a lot of that pressure and hype was kind of, didn't really know where it was coming from.
Right.
And so then to not have it, then have a bad coaching changeover, that's no fun for those kids. And every time I see stuff like this, I just think about these kids are only there for 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a senior or any kid at that level and you basically have a write-off year, that really stinks. And as football people, we really, really value that. A lot of times it's easy for other people to write off a football year, but not when it's your kids, your sweat, your hard work. And so hate to see that for those guys.
Yeah.
But I think they're going to have a tough one this week.
Definitely, definitely. So moving on to our next game, Kingman Academy is visiting St. John Paul II. Now the interesting thing
The
with
second? Oh.
the second, yes.
It was the first.
Yes.
Different story.
Interesting thing with the Academy's second half schedule is it's a lot of schools that have been rough for a few years now. I think there's a realistic chance the Academy can end the year 5-5. The people agree with me. I am taking Kingman Academy to win this game down in Phoenix.
Kingman Academy, please. I can't afford any more losses. I'm going Kingman Academy.
You're going Kingman Academy as well? Okay. All right, so after that, we now have Lake Havasu is visiting Buckeye Union, which I believe will be a little more of a tougher game compared to Kofa. But I still like Lake Havasu. I think they'll continue to rule, and the people agree. The people agree.
Wonder who's the 12%. I wonder if someone from Buckeye Union catches wind, or if there's just Havasu haters out there who click in and vote.
Right.
I don't vote.
Somebody
by the way.
somebody from Lee Williams.
Hey, that's okay. I love it. I run these polls, and you do see who votes what on there, and I laugh because some people are really just haters, and I'm actually all for it. Like, without haters, there's no fun
Right.
in football.
No,
Someone's
it's
got to be
rivalries is what make it great. It's the shovel game. It's
Well, and you got to be like me and just kind of loyal to your people and your team.
Right.
And, kind of creates the the emotion and meaning and all those other things. So yeah, I'm going Havasu in this one, and it's really funny because I've really enjoyed this Havasu ride, and having coached at Mojave, where Havasu has been such an adversary for so long. It's kind of weird to be rooting for them.
Right.
It's literally coached against them for the last 5 years, and played against them 20 plus years ago.
right.
And so now to see them playing good ball, coming together, and to be honest, they're a fun group too. They interact, they got good
Yeah.
energy, they got good support. There's a lot of good things coming out of there, and I'm like I said, I'm going Havasu. They're falling into my local support web now. So prove me right, fellas.
Yep. So moving on, Lee Williams continues its road streak. They'll be visiting Westview in the Phoenix area this week. And the people also picked Lee Williams to win by a large margin. And I concur with the people. I think the Lee Williams train continues to roll.
What do you know about Westview?
Not much.
Me either.
I know that I want to say they're like 2-4 or something like that.
Let's look at Westview real
Yeah.
quick here. Let's see if I can find any insight. And then I will tell you that I will default to the
Oh,
team.
0-5.
So they're 0-5. Let's see. They have been blown out against Thunderbird, ALA West Foothills, both decent teams. Tough one to Australia Foothills. Buckeye, 2 scores. Glendale by 1 score. I don't think that they're going to get right against a team like Lee Williams. Plays good fundamental football. You know, they are going to run it. They're going to control the pass. They're not going to get too pass happy. Play good defense.
Yeah.
You're going to have to beat yourself. And I don't think Lee Williams is losing this week. So
Yeah, the last 2 weeks, Lee Williams has played its best football of the year so far, and I believe that'll continue to roll.
yeah. And again, man, things are playing out so well for Lee Williams right now, including the schedule layout. I mean, that's pretty exciting for them. And again, we talked early in the season. We had Coach Regan on, and his optimism and his messaging to his seniors about not taking this year off, like going to fight for them, and they're going to have a season. They're going to have a chance to compete. Was spot on, and those guys clearly bought in, and I hope that the school does too, because it's pretty fun to see.
It has been awesome to see. It is how quickly he has changed the culture there.
Yeah.
It's been fun to watch, and just the talk around town. It's just like everyone's talking about Lee Williams and Kingman, and
It's a lot of fun,
Yeah.
you know, and I was actually very surprised that Lee Williams Havasu game didn't have more fanfare or coverage or whatever you want to call it. But I am guessing in the future that game will become far more meaningful as those teams stay relevant, grow their programs, and that game will have more meaning. So, excuse me, I need my
your H2O.
my bro Stanley here.
All right, so moving on to our next game.
So you know I've been yapping a lot when I need to get a drink.
Need a drink? Yeah. Kingman is visiting Oi.
Oi!
Oi has
I'm
had.
saying K-Town gets right on this one.
I concur. I believe Kingman wins, and I believe the people agree with us. Kingman, historically, when it comes to some of these long road games, there's been
And it is a
some tough
long
ones.
road game.
It's been tough. There's been some tough road games, and Kingman's had issues with those. But I believe that things are going to handle themselves, and they're going to come home with a win.
I don't know if they're having any health issues or things like that, but you come off of a really tough game against a good team. You know, you're typically pretty fired up for the next one. You learn a lot about yourself, the team, the things. You have a common opponent to study. I actually think that the quarterback creates some athletic issues for Oi defensively,
Yes.
Which all athletic quarterbacks do, but you don't have the horses to offset it like you do with River Valley. And so I'm taking Kingman in this one. They get back on track.
The thing I will say about Kingman
Have a
is
long, happy ride home.
Yes. The last couple of weeks, the passing game clearly has improved. DeAnthony's throwing the ball well, which is something that we didn't really try to do my last 3 years there, just because that wasn't who we are. We were more like River Valley is. It's nice to see more of a balanced attack with the Bulldogs.
It's not the same, but I tell you, it reminds me when we had John Williams playing quarterback, because we knew we wanted him to run the thing, but he was so talented throwing it, and it was like, we know he can do it, and then you just kind of, it's tough to keep that balance or not dip into that temptation of throwing the thing around a little bit. And the kid has improved as a passer. I don't know what his skill set was before, but he has had some nice effective passing games. And to be honest, if you can manage it and run it the same way, kind of the way Havasu ran some of those shorter, safer passes, even like that corner touchdown to the front pylon, where it's essentially a no-risk throw. You either score a touchdown or you don't. Would make his running life a lot easier. But Kingman doesn't really run it out of the sets that make that beneficial. You really, you'd have to change a lot of things. That's probably not where they're at in their season right now.
Kingman is still very much a 21, 22 personnel team. That's sort of how they've always been.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. But it's nice to see more of a play action.
Mid-season
passing
and a
game.
crucial game. You're not going to reinvent the wheel at that point.
Right.
Do what got you there. I mean, let the kid take his shots and let players play, man.
And the Jonathan Williams comparison is interesting. Jonathan Williams, more of a Cam Newton, Tim Tebow-esque body. DeAnthony, more of a Lamar Jackson, Marcus Mariota type.
Yeah. John was the most fun person to call plays for, but it really was tempting because every once in a while he would just throw a ball 65, 70 yards on the run, and you're like, who does that?
Right.
You know, oh, it's our linebacker. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, very, very different, but very similar in terms of very tempting to
Yes.
push the limits of their talent. And yeah, I think if I could have got John to keep half of those read options, he would have had 10 more touchdowns.
I still
He
remember,
loved the give.
Gosh, what was it? His last year at quarterback, he had the 80-yard touchdown that showed
had a
up on
couple.
Huddle's top 5 plays of
Yeah.
the week. Yeah.
Kid was a human highlight reel. Unbelievable. So is, in his own right, DeAnthony Thomas. Like, the kids.
Yeah, DeAnthony Bush. Yeah.
DeAnthony Bush, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
DeAnthony Thomas plays for Oregon or
Yes.
something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good luck getting to Oregon. That would be cool.
Yeah.
But yes, DeAnthony Bush, same thing. Very, very dynamic playmaker. He's a human highlight reel. And he's going to have to be again this week.
Yep. So moving on to our next game, Prescott is visiting Mojave. This is the last game of Mojave's hard 6-game stretch to start the year. And Prescott has been a mixed bag.
Bag.
When their quarterback is healthy, they look really good, and they're beating up on Northwest Christian. When their quarterback's not
putting
healthy,
up 50 points against Northwest Christian.
they're getting beat up. And then last week they beat up Mingus. But Mingus in the Grand Canyon has fallen off the last few years. They've been the lesser of the schools in that region. I am picking Mojave to win this one. I think Mojave's going to defend their house. I think they got some guys coming back this week. I think Coach Rudy's going to have them ready.
Yeah, I have not asked who's coming back, but I'm taking Mojave, and I have seen enough football to know that if they are healthy, they will play with everyone I've watched so far. They can play with anybody, but their health is a major issue. You figure starting safety out, broken collarbone, starting running back out, I think it's just a tweaked ankle, something, who was also your starting D lineman.
The quarterback has stitches in his
Quarterback
non-throwing
had
hand.
stitches in his hand, a dislocated knuckle. I think he's finally got the bandage off. I know he reopened it once. Starting linebacker got a broken foot. Also your backup running back. Also your slot receiver.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know exactly what's going on with Tony, but Tony was hobbling out to run the plays in. That's not a good sign. So, I mean, they're just so banged up that they have got to get healthy. Pedro, like I said, I saw Pedro at his little brother's game on Saturday, and just told him, man, I knew he was hurt. Just told him, man, gutsy game, great game, man, hell of a performance. And he kind of showed me, he's like, I can't even lift my arm, like,
Oh, no.
Okay, all right, that's
But yeah, it still sounds like Prescott's quarterback's out.
yeah.
I think Mojave should take care of business.
Yeah, I'm taking them. They played, to be honest, they were down a bunch of guys last week and the week before. They competed. To be very frank, Joe keeps you in games. I mean, he had one play where it looked like he was going to fall over backwards, gathered his feet, scrambled out, got a first down. I mean, some of those things you talk about coaching a John Williams or a DeAnthony Bush, Joe's the same way. You call a play, doesn't go well.
Yeah.
He makes some crazy play. You look like a genius, and keeps you in games. And they just got to get a couple guys healthy, especially defensively. Like, they're doing enough to move the ball, put some points up. But man, if you can't get your big strong bodies in there to stop the run, establish the run, then it's really tough on everybody else. So I'm hoping they're healthy. Did I understand that it's Mojave and River Valley's homecoming in the same week?
Yes, that's the other thing I heard about that. The Fieldhouse got double booked, so River Valley is playing back at their high school.
Not only double booked, but double homecoming.
Yeah. It's an odd one. It's an odd one.
Well, it's an odd one, but it also, there are a lot of shared interest in these kids by people that, I mean, to be honest, the kids have shared interest in one another. So I don't know whose little boyfriend or girlfriend wanted to go watch who or do whatever. Parents who, people like myself, coach kids in both schools. followed kids in both schools. That's kind of stinks for them.
It does, yeah.
I don't know why. I mean, double booking happens. I'm sure River Valley's pumped to play at their home field. I don't know the condition of the field, but it's probably going to be fun. But man, double homecomings is kind of a head scratcher.
I still the last time I coached at River Valley's home field was probably when I was at Lee
Did
Williams.
you need a 4-wheel drive to drive over the field, or did you need bug spray to survive the game?
I remember the bug spray part, and I also like one of 2 places with a gravel track field, them in Parker. I will say their field much better condition than Parker,
Yeah.
at least back then.
Yeah, I have been out there. I'll be out there today for our athlete of the month.
And then there's like, I try to mean this in a nice way, like there's that unique smell.
Yeah. So
The smell of agriculture.
if you've never been to River Valley, it is out in the middle of the farm fields out in Mojave Valley, and it is different if that is not your backyard.
Yes.
And I'm sure they're very excited, a very, very proud group of people out there. I hope the bugs aren't too bad. I hope the storms don't roll in. I hope the wind's not 30 miles an hour.
Got a comment that says River Valley chose to play at home.
Ah, okay.
Did River Valley choose to have homecoming on the same day as Mojave?
I don't know about that, but
What's
they did.
funny is I know both schools
Matt
have been
said that
pushing
they-
to play at their home fields, and both of their home fields are completely wrecked.
Yes.
So hopefully they got River Valley's
Thanks,
sorted
Matt.
out. I know Mojave, go walk the track
Right.
at Mojave every once in a while. That field is still a
And then
disaster.
talk a little about Mojave's field. Like, I've coached some JV games there, and that's another one where they have that smell. Them and when Malk was at Firebird Field, like I want to say it's the river or something, but it's like especially
Well,
at certain
so in
times
the
of the
evening
day.
when the water, there is like a
Yeah.
aroma, but that is usually pretty fleeting. It passes by pretty quick. I hope that River Valley has a good time out there. It is a lot of fun playing outside in the right conditions,
Right.
On the grass. And I just still think it's weird that you have 2 homecomings at the same time.
Yeah, very
just-
odd.
I don't know.
With schools so interconnected.
Yeah. Well, community interconnected.
Yeah.
Like I said, I could just think of off the top of my head, like, 5 parents who go to both games, whoever's at home, because they grew up with these kids, watch these,
Right. They got a son at one, they got a nephew at the other. Yeah.
well, they got an adopted son at the other that, they've raised, inadvertently for the last 10 years or whatever the case is. So I'm sure it'll be a lot of fun for everybody. Hopefully it's a non-issue, but Mojave needs to get on the winning track in a hurry.
Yep.
And at home, on homecoming, great opportunity to do it. So
All right, so that leaves us with our game of the week this week, a big one. The winner of this game is going to win the 1A West region, most likely, which is an automatic spot in the playoffs. Baghdad is visiting Malk. It is the first senior night of the 7 high schools this year that will have senior nights.
I still think Desert Star should have one.
Yes. And I just want to shout out to all 4 of Mojave Accelerated's seniors, Owen Honinger, Jerry Torres, Lasik,
Listen, I've been saying his name wrong as long as I've known him, so I can't help you.
Conlaglu?
I always say Conlog.
Conlog. And
But that could be wrong too,
Right.
LASIK. I apologize. I just did an
I do
athlete of the
apologize,
week with him. I interviewed him for Trace's Awards last year. Great kid, tough name. Sorry I butchered it.
Yeah.
And I've known him since he was a little kid. So.
and
no excuse
Elijah
for me.
Reyes as well. So congrats to all 4 of those seniors. And this is a big one for Malk.
It is.
This could be the difference between a home playoff game and going on the road in the first
My
round.
computer doesn't believe me that I'm looking up Baghdad football.
So BAGDAD.
Yeah, got it.
No H. Yeah.
Or maybe our internet's just a mess. So.
Yeah.
There we go.
But no, as Baghdad has historically
They are
been,
the Sultans.
They are the Sultans, that is correct. But they have historically been one of the top programs in 1A for some time now. They
Yeah.
were the runner-ups
So-
last year.
So they're actually really tough. They always have been. The joke is that there's nothing to do out there but play sports. So
Yeah.
it shows because they are tough, they're physical, and they are good in that division every single year. So I don't know if this is the right game. They're 5-0. Let's see. What?
Well,
They're 5-0. They
are
got 2
5-0.
forfeits.
Okay, hold up. So they are 5-0, but they have Week 1, they had to forfeit against El Capitan because El
That's right.
Capitan had to forfeit because of the measles outbreak in Colorado City. And then week 2,
Things you don't hear very often.
Sedona had to forfeit because they didn't have enough kids that had the 10 mandatory practices in because of the heat
Okay,
climate
well
deal.
then this is where it gets interesting because they smacked Mogollon.
Yes.
They smacked Williams.
Okay, so the 2 teams that Malk have lost to, yes.
Right. And they have smacked Desert Heights Prep,
Yes.
who I'm not familiar. I do know Mogollon and Williams are good teams.
And then last week, they were supposed to play Valley Union, who Malk beat up on a couple weeks ago. The game got moved to Saturday because of all those rainstorms. And then their game on Saturday got canceled because the fields were still flooded.
Yeah.
So they have had 2 forfeits and a cancellation.
Well, hopefully that plays, and maybe they're not playing their best ball, but
So this plays into Malk's favor. And the other thing, Malk, for the first time this year, is healthy.
yeah.
Torres is there, Honiger's there, which is why I am picking Mojave Accelerated to win. Will this shoot me? Maybe. I believe in Malk. I believe in the Patriots. I think they're going to win this week.
Well, listen, I wish this was one where I could pick against the locals to try and gain some ground on you, but I'm not going to do it. And I'm not going to do it because it's homecoming, it's a big game, and it's a big game for them in terms of where they end up landing and the seeding, things like that. I'm really hoping that Torres has a breakout game. Kid's a big, athletic, good football player. Been playing as long as I've been coaching, and hopefully Baghdad's not ready for all that and a little bit of that homecoming rub. But I'll tell you, Baghdad loves to play spoiler. I mean, they're the villains in the Malk football movie every year, and hopefully they are able to pull it out. I think that Malk ends up, making a run, being in the playoffs either way. But we talked early in the year about, some of these games really prove whether you're a contender or you're
A playoff team.
right.
Yeah.
And they need to have one of these games because they're going to have them in the playoffs. So, fellas, no pressure. Get Honiger the ball.
Yeah.
Get that thing moving. Somebody get some splash plays on defense, Torres, and make me look good.
Yep.
So.
I'm definitely excited to go watch these guys play. My first 8-man game of the year. It is interesting because when I was going to high school at the academy, I was the manager for the football team, and we played 8-man. But this was back when us and Malk were both still in the CAA before we moved up to the AIA. And 8-man in the CAA, they use the full field, which makes the game a lot more interesting.
Yeah, that seems like a little bit too much field for not enough bodies.
Especially when we're going up against schools with Phoenix athletes every week. Kickoff got real interesting.
Yeah, like real not a good time. But yeah, that's a great game of the week, a big one, a rivalry. Like I said, Baghdad has been the villain in the Malk football story many times. They have been one of the most dominant teams in that division for as long as I've been watching these guys play. At least we know one of the running backs is in River Valley, so maybe that helps.
This is true. This is true.
So I'd love to hear your thoughts, guys. Any predictions on our game of the week, Malk Baghdad?
The people did pick Baghdad.
Yeah, well, listen, they're the favorites. I mean, they're 5-0. They're perennial.
A unique 5-0 though.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, it's a BS 5-0 through no fault of their own.
Yes.
But
No,
the
I
games
do-
they did play were against good teams, and they took it to them.
I know Coach Dalton Mills really well. When I was coaching baseball at the academy, he's their baseball coach as well. We played Baghdad. Always tough games with them. Baseball, football, they've been good every year. And I do feel bad for him. He's been very adamant on Twitter of how rough it's been. All these games getting canceled and rescheduled. And,
Oh, it's got to be a nightmare. Yeah, that stinks for them. But yeah, like I said, the games they did play, they were dominant. Based on that, it could be a long day for Malk, but I'm hoping they put it together. They get up for a big game. I know that fan-wise, they don't skip a beat, so they'll have this thing, pumped up. There's a lot going on. You want to go to senior night, 2 homecomings.
Yep. It's a busy weekend, Bullhead. Yeah.
Busy weekend. I won't be here.
Yeah.
I will be back in Pennsylvania for the weekend. My son played in they have essentially like a JV or a scrimmage game or whatever. He's been out with a high ankle, and he sends me this picture of this dude he went against. It was 6'8", 360 or something. I just laughed. I said, son,
Yeah.
you remember that picture when I played basketball at that junior college against the 7-footer where I looked like a child?
Yeah.
Have fun with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good
Welcome
luck.
to
I
college
played basketball.
football.
He's playing offensive line.
Yeah.
So
From the big fish in a small pond to the small fish in a giant pond.
yeah, absolutely. So, there been any surprises? Like, what's the big story coming out of the first half of this high school season?
I would say it's definitely Lee Williams. I mean, we knew the River Valley was a tough schedule. We knew about Mojave and the depth issues. But Lee Williams, there's 3 teams so far that I have completely got my preseason predictions wrong. The 2 2A schools and Lee Williams, they are not going to finish the year 5-5. They will be far better than that. They will probably be a playoff team in this 24-team 4A playoff.
Well, and my new famous line is, with my football expertise, I'm completely wrong. So I did believe that Lee Williams would be a good team, an improved team. I mean, just talking football with Coach, just the X's and O's part would have been improved. But I think that the buy-in, the energy, momentum is on their side at this point. They're in the driver's seat of that conference, and they already beat Prescott. I mean, they got Mojave coming up. Mojave's got to get right, or that's going to be a rough game for Mojave.
That's the thing. They got Mojave still. They got Cocoa. They got Bradshaw. Those are going to be the 3 games left that are going to really decide what kind of season they have. Because if you can win 2 of those 3, I believe a home playoff game is very possible.
Which would be very exciting.
Yes.
Hosting a playoff game is a big deal. We were fortunate enough to host a couple the last few years, and people really didn't understand what a big deal that was. Like, just from a football perspective, you would have had to then travel 4 or 5 hours the other way.
Right.
Let alone coming up here, having your fans here, a chance to play in your backyard, showcase your town, your field, your everything. It's a real fun thing for a football team to get a chance to
I definitely
host
remember
one.
going to those playoff games. I always enjoyed because you guys are going to the playoffs, River. I still remember last year I went to the River Mojave back-to-back playoff games. Got to see
2
Coach
L's, what the
Regan
hell?
and Coach Margie. Yeah, that's right. You were there calling the
Yeah.
Mojave game, or was it the River game?
I
It
called
was
the River game.
That's right.
And ironically, so this is kind of a fun story. Those guys come up from Eastern Arizona, do a legit, like, college pro level broadcast. Really good job. It was a ton of fun. And they asked if I wanted to do the Mojave game. And I was like, I don't think so. Like, I want to watch that game. Like,
Right.
I'm really too invested. Like, I don't have a meltdown on the thing. They're like, do you know anyone else? And so who did I ask?
Coach Reagan.
Coach Reagan. I said, sharp guy, knows the kids. Like, his dad's been announcing for years. He knows how it works. And he did a great job. And so that was kind of just a fun little opportunity that we got to do. Really a bummer that, I thought both those games were winnable, and they did not.
Yeah, I mean, Round Valley's a tough one, and I speak from experience. My only 2 playoff experiences as a head coach was first round of the playoffs against Round Valley. 2014 at Lee Williams and 2017 at Kingman Academy. Played Round Valley. The Kingman Academy game was on that same network they did your game for last year. And fortunately, both playoff experiences, same score, 60-0. Round Valley's really good.
Yeah. Well, this could be a lot of fun, and we're at the midway point. I hope you guys have enjoyed this show. This will be a lot of fun when we can follow playoff teams. I mean, if we can continue this as a team makes a run to state or state semifinals or whatever the case is, because communities really come together when those happen. Hopefully there's multiple teams. Like I said, Malk has a very good chance. Mojave is still not out of it.
Yeah.
Lee Will's in the driver's seat.
Havasu's in the driver's seat. Rivers.
River Valley, we've said it a million times, despite their schedule, is probably the most likely to make a run playing in that conference.
If River Valley can find a way to win out the season, finish 7-3, I can see a home playoff game.
Yeah.
6-4, I still believe playoffs.
I tell you this, though, if they end up a mid to high seed, nobody wants to play them early in the playoffs.
Right.
That is not a mid-level ranked playoff team. Like if we sat there, I can't remember what year it was, and looked at some of the draws, and some of those draws that you get because of whatever happened in the regular season really stink, because there's some really high-ranked teams that are not that good, and they just had, especially when they had the early where your conference really dictated or whatever it was before they went to the current format, you might play a team that was not that good and they were a higher seed, and so it was really a lot more of a grab bag. But right now I think the seedings are probably pretty good and honest, but you're not going to want to play a 6-4 River Valley team at a 7 seed or something.
Right.
You're going to be pissed. You're like, would you River Valley at 8 and 7, like what is it, would be the 7 and 8 play, or 6 and 5? How many are playing in that?
16 and 3A.
16. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a lot of fun to follow, and then we have some great individual players coming out of this season, and it'll be fun to see where they go, not just in terms of colleges if they choose to or whatever, but getting recognized in the state, in the conference, things like that. Should be a lot of fun, and it's all over the place. 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A.
Yeah. It's a nice thing about all this mix of schools we have is just we get the big schools, and then I say big schools, big I consider Mojave and Lee Williams big, not 6A big.
Yeah, which I think Havasu has the biggest enrollment, right?
Yeah, I want to say 1,600 right now.
Yeah.
They were 1,900 back in 2015. I remember that.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I can't. It's really odd. It seems like maybe there's a place to get the information. I don't know where it is, but and also the enrollments fluctuate so much throughout the year.
Oh, yeah,
it's really
absolutely.
wild.
Like, I know.
It's actually kind of sad. You start a school with
Right.
1,200 kids, you end with 900. What the hell happened to 300 kids?
Yeah, no, 'cause I remember the academy used to have 500 kids. Then Lee Williams showed up. They're now like a little under 4. They're bigger than Wickenburg, but Wickenburg's enrollment has dropped significantly,
Really?
which is
Just
hard.
Wickenburg's growing.
Wickenburg
the
is
town
growing, but there's a Christian school that opened in Wickenburg. Mountainside, which is Justin Whitman, has taken some of their kids. Yeah, but it's been interesting.
It has been in it. How's the middle school football world?
Well, we are currently in week 1 of our 2-week intersession because we do the year-round school thing. So we have this fall break, and getting
sounds like a real pain in the
kids to practice that don't have cars and shouldn't have cars.
Yeah. Well, if you had
Has
kids with
been-
cars, you better be winning a lot of games. So.
Yeah, it's been hard. We've had 23 and 25 the last 2 days, but it's been a good 23-25.
Yeah.
And we don't have another game until after intersection. We got Parker coming up. So.
I had this is a funny story. Freshman year at Mojave, we had a pretty good team. We went 6-4, 7-3 or something. And one of our losses, we went to Blythe and played.
Oh.
And back then, it was a freshman team, a JV team, and a varsity team.
Right.
And so we're pulling up in our bus, and we're getting out, we're looking at all these kids, and we're like, holy cow, man, they're big, they're whatever. We get out there, kids got tattoos. This is in the 90s. That was not very common. And so after the game, we're like, dang, we got our butts kicked, we lost. And we're on the bus, and we're watching these kids get into cars and drive off. And we're like, wait a second. It's a freshman game. What the hell just happened here? So I don't know if they don't have freshmen but
That's funny.
they got in cars and drove off. And so then, back then was a freshman would have played on Wednesday or Thursday, I'm not sure. Then the varsity thing, same kids with the same tattoos, the same, played in the varsity game, and we're like,
This isn't right.
this isn't right. Yeah, something doesn't seem right here. And but I always remember telling that story. I just remember the one kid who played D-line, probably sacked me 5 times, kicked the crap out of us, got in a freaking old Mustang and drove off. And I was like, wait a second here.
Right.
Something doesn't add up. But
Freshman in college.
yeah, what's funny is now people hold kids back intentionally. You have kids who are full year older than they should be. And if they have an older birthday, they could be a year and a half older than the other kids that they're playing. So it is a weird thing. I don't know.
It is.
That does not sound like what was
Yeah.
happening back then. That sounds like.
I recall coaching at Kingman High, we had a couple kids that so if you turn 19 before the start of your senior year, you get aged out. You can't
Yeah.
play your senior year. And we had a couple kids that would they'd be juniors and they'd be there for senior night because they would age out before their senior year started. And it's a unique situation.
It is a unique situation, and there are unique situations, but we had talked a little bit about, I actually don't think Mojave even had a JV game last week. I don't think they had enough kids, which is alarming for a school that big.
That big, yeah.
That's already thin on the varsity, and then you don't have enough for
Because
a
what, you're
JV.
talking 1,500-ish over there?
It might be. I'm not sure. It
they're
certainly never
bigger.
seemed like it when I was there.
I know, like, the numbers I hear from Kingman, it's like Kingman High has 900 one week, and then the next week I'm hearing they have 700. Lee has 1,200 one week, and the next week I'm hearing they only have 800 kids at Lee Williams. It's
Yeah, I can't ever get a straight answer, and
Yeah.
everyone always seems to think everyone's school has way more than they do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we talked earlier about in the season about Williams High School. Williams finds a way to be just at 250 so they can stay inside 1A.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's too many Mojaves for AI to tell me.
What you want to do, so if you go to AIA Online, that'll give you. So AIA Online is the one that has the updated enrollments. Yep. And then
Oh
you can
boy,
go-
here we go.
Yep.
It's just every by enrollment by sport. Oh, this is great.
Yeah. And these
So
are
let's
updated
see.
every year. Yeah.
Gila Ridge has 2,300 kids.
Yep. That's a 4A.
Cibola 2,490. Millennium 22. Williams Field.
Alhambra has 2,000.
God dang. What are you guys doing? Why aren't you better at football?
And there's Lake Havasu.
Havasu at 1971. Does that sound right, Havasu?
1971,
1971.
wow.
God dang, that's
24?
crazy.
Oh, this was from last year, 24-25. Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. Flagstaff 1646.
Yep.
I had heard Flagstaff was a pretty big school.
Yeah, I mean, I know Coco's not far
Coco's
behind.
1556. Dysart 1551.
Yep, and they're in 3A.
How does that make sense? Micah Mountain 1473.
It is this promotion relegation system we use now. Like, these schools stink for a couple years to get moved down.
But they're good.
Yeah.
Eastmark 1270.
Yep.
Crisman 1216.
There's-
What's
Shadow-
River Valley, like 500 enrollment?
Shadow Mountain, look at that, in our 3A school.
Yeah, so Lee Wills 1110.
Sounds right.
Mojave
It's right
1109.
behind them. Wow, look at that.
one kid off.
Yep.
This is the one kid. Paradise Honors 987. I had heard that they were bigger than that. Good for them. Boy,
Yeah.
that's wild. Any other?
Look at that. Chino,
Chino?
Valley 700 in 2A. Yeah.
What is that? River Valley 564.
Yep.
Wild. Yuma Catholic. Now this is where
Yeah.
this is where it gets muddy.
And then you got Seton Catholic there too. who's
Yeah, Yuma Catholic 517, Seton Catholic Prep 560.
Valley Christian.
But then you have legit Thatcher at 560.
Right. Then you got Parker. Yep.
Yeah. Push Ridge 428. Push Ridge a perennial powerhouse in
Yeah.
most sports.
And they're the private school out of Phoenix.
Private
Yep.
school, which
Out of Tucson.
Tucson, yes.
Academy.
That's right.
There's Kingman Academy up there. Yep. 358. That's the lowest they've ever been.
Mojave
then-
accelerated 282.
Yep. 282. That's technically above the number, but
Yeah. Well, and that's 2A for all sports but football.
football, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I believe if you go to the bottom, it will show they don't have an enrollment for Desert Star yet.
NA,
Yep,
which means
not
they should have
available.
senior night.
They should have senior. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty interesting, and kind of explains why it's so complicated to figure out where teams should play. And then also the head scratcher of why does a school have 1,000 kids and barely field a team, where another school has 400 kids and is a
has-
powerhouse.
Yeah, and has all 3 levels. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, we don't get into the
Politics.
The nitty gritty.
AIA can't punish us. Well, they
Yeah.
might be able to punish you. I don't know. If you get back into coaching.
If
But
I get back, maybe.
I had some people asking me about it, and I posted that old video of, kind of explaining that I've been coaching these kids for a long time. And it seems weird not coaching, but I don't really know where I would fit into coaching again,
Yeah. Even in a place with, I mean, if you count Needles, 5 high schools.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that looks like, but I don't think I'm going to have to worry about it anytime soon. But
To me, it's like, I know if I'm going to go back to the high school, it's got to be with someone that I know, I like, I can work with. I like being on coach staff with guys I like. Because I've been on staffs with guys that weren't necessarily the best people pleasers, and just, I don't know, it's hard when working with someone that you don't like.
I agree. And I also believe that it bleeds into the kids. Kids are so, when I say maybe instinct is a better word. Kids have great instincts. Like, they know when there's dissension. They sense when there's disagreement.
They know when you're BSing them.
They know when you're BSing them. And I think it's actually part of, like, being a head coach is that you get your coaches bought in, your coaches on the same page.
Yeah.
Because they are then who distribute it to your players. And, you know, when you have disconnect or whatever the case is, it's tough. Yeah. You know what's really weird is all these teams that I played against when I was in high school are now gigantic schools.
Yeah. Well, I remember, if I recall,
Paulson.
Parker back in the 90s used to be over 1,000.
Yeah.
They've had significant drops.
So Mountain View Mesa, 3,886 kids. Is that not who just got all those California transfers?
That's Mesa, just
Oh,
regular
okay,
Mesa.
not
yeah.
Mountain View Mesa.
Yeah.
So where's Mesa?
I think you just passed them. Right there.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, way off. 3,458
Yeah.
plus 10 California kids.
Yep. All right. Well, it was great to be here again, Coach. Great show as
Man,
always.
really excited how the season's shaping up, guys. Play hard, have fun, keep your grades up. Nothing pisses me off more than kids missing games for eligibility. We're talking about football having 10 games.
Right.
If you're ineligible for one, you miss 10%
Yeah.
of your season.
And then
if you twist your ankle for another,
the 2A, 3A, 4A schools have 10 games. The 8-man schools have like 7 regular season games. So there's
Yeah.
that. Because they got, I believe, Malk has 2 regular season games left after this week, and then it's straight to playoffs.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, good luck. Game of the week, Malk. It's a big one for you. Go out there and get it. Everybody else, have fun.
Yep.
Play hard. Win.
Come
Try to
by
win.
the used Findlay car lot. Come look at some cars.
Yeah, we're
Come buy a car from us.
we're getting ready to do our October specials and programs, and it's going to be exciting. Good stuff.
All right. All right, guys.
Argonda,
We'll see you.
appreciate it.
Thank you,
Thanks,
guys.
everybody.
And
We'll
we'll
see
see
you
you
guys
next week. All right. Later.